guys, how's it going? It's me, Megan, and this is Sunday. I don't think she'll want to stay in the video for very long, but I thought I'd show her. And I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do what sold videos, I'll do unboxings, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. And maybe Sunday will be in them, or Wednesday, the other cat. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over my last week of sales. Just the last week, so not the last 2 weeks, like how it's been, but from August 13th, where I think we left off last week, to yesterday, which was August 19th. And this last week was actually a ton better than the weeks I shared with you guys last time. Thankfully, sales seem to have been like picking up. Hopefully it stays like that. Again, I only have about a week and a half before I go to Connecticut for the majority of the month of September. So I'm really hoping to just get some sales while I'm still home before I leave to Connecticut for one, my cousin's wedding, and two, my sister is having a baby. So I'm very excited about that. Also, I know last week I said I was going to have my bulk box review, like 90-day recap review out last week. Last week just got too crazy, and I've already filmed it, so I will edit it today and I will have it out within the next couple of days. So if you're interested to see how much money I made off those boxes, that will be the video to watch. But anyway, I'm just going to get into these sales so this video is not too long. On Sunday, August 13th, I had 4 sales. I sold this Aritzia Wilfred pencil skirt. I've had this for a while. I want to say I got this at the bins, but I might have gotten it at a Goodwill. In that case, I probably spent about $6-ish on it. I love Wilfred as far as Aritzia brands go, and I've had really good luck with it in the past. However, a few of my pieces I have been sitting on. I know this is more of like a fall-ish piece, so I am glad it's sold now. It ended up selling for $45, and after fees I made $33.98. Next, I sold these Resell hiking boots. I got these very recently at a Savers, and I wasn't having the best luck at Savers. And if you guys have ever like seen my haul videos, or maybe I've mentioned in some of my What Sold Sunday videos, but in the Savers I go to, I have no service, so I can never really like comp things, which is annoying and, you know, sometimes scary. And I haven't had the best of luck with Resell boots in the past, but I liked the way these looked. I liked the style, and I did end up picking them up. I think I spent like $14.99 on them or something, which is, you know, pretty high. But luckily they did sell quickly, and again, we're still in the summer, so that's fantastic. They ended up selling for $64, and after fees I made $49.18. Next, I sold this Adidas t-shirt. It just had like this chameleon graphic on it. I just really liked it. I saw it at the bins. Adidas really doesn't do too well for me, so not something I necessarily like picking up. But again, it was at the bins. If I saw it again, I'd probably pass on it because it did take a while to sell it. It didn't sell for much, but it did sell for $12, and after fees I made $7.03. And the last thing I sold on Sunday was this Etro Paisley wrap top. Etro, E-T-R-O, is a designer brand. I got that in a very recent DIY designer box I received from THREDUP. I haven't posted that video yet. I'll try and get that out either this week or next week, along with both boxes I haven't shown you guys yet. But it was a decent box for the most part. I've never sold this brand before, and I didn't know how it would do. I am glad I took photos of it on my mannequin. I think that really helped. It ended up selling for $65, and then after fees I made $50.79, and that was on eBay. And those those designer DIY boxes cost, like with tax and shipping, like $140, $160. So each item ends up costing about like $20-something, which is not great. And that's why I get them very rarely nowadays, because they are still fun, but the cost of goods is so high, especially for what you end up getting. So I at least doubled my money on that, which I am happy about. Then on Monday the 14th, I had 6 sales. I sold this new tag Gap pair of pink sweatpants. This came from the bulk boxes that I already showed you guys. Pink you know, Barbie. I've been talking about this for a few weeks. Very trendy. They were new at tag, but they were, I think, from maybe like 2013 or somewhere in the teens. They did take a little while to sell, but they finally sold on Depop. They sold for $22, and after fees I made $18.40. Then I had another Depop sale, this J. Jill cashmere sweater, which also came from the bulk boxes that I already shared with you guys. This was in a petite size, and I mentioned last week I have a hard time selling petites, and then I did mention that I sold a few petites, and this is another petite item that I sold. I think sometimes if the piece is cute enough, people who aren't petites are willing to risk it to have the piece. I think this is a case of that. But it was a really pretty color, ended up selling for $19, and after fees I made $15.85. Then I sold these Shein cow print jeans. I got these at the bins a while ago, and they weren't in the best condition, which I didn't know when I picked them up. If I had seen that, I probably would have passed, because Shein is a fast fashion, really cheap brand. I mentioned this a few times in the past, but I do like to save it when I can, because people know that it's not like this great brand, and if I can get it from the bins and sell it to somebody who will at least use it a few more times, I think that's usually worth it. These ended up selling for $15 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $12. Then I sold this American Giant full zip. I also got this at the bins. I've had really good luck with this brand, and I don't know if it's because it's still summer, but it just really wasn't getting as much attention as I thought it would. So I did let it go for much less than I wanted, but someone offered me $35 and I accepted, and after fees I made $28. Then I sold this pair of Lululemon Wonder Under crop leggings. I want to say I got these in the bulk boxes that I already shared with you guys and not the newer ones. These are just a cropped Lululemon legging, so not the best of the stuff you can get to resell from Lululemon, and I just feel like the resale value on their pieces has gone way down. At least I used to be able to get a lot more for it just last year or the year before, or even earlier this year, but now it's really slowed down. They still end up selling for $27, I think, because they were a newer style, and after fees I made $21.60. And the last thing I sold on Monday was this North of West, which is the brand. It was a geometric tank top. I got this in the bulk boxes, I believe I already shared with you guys, and I really liked the print, and it was like kind of like a canvasy. My cat's staring at me talking. She's like, who are you talking to? It was like a canvasy tote material, and then once I looked up the brand, apparently it was like a Portland-based designer that no longer, or a store, I guess, that no longer is open. So I thought that was pretty cool. It ended up selling for $25, and after fees I made $20. Then on Tuesday the 15th, I had 4 sales. I sold this T Collection ballerina dress. This did take longer to sell than I thought it would. I got this at the bins. T Collection is one of those children's brands that I will still pick up, like, at the bins. I usually only pick up my kids' stuff at the bins. I really liked this dress, you know, ballerina, good brand. I thought it would sell pretty quickly, but it did have some stains I wasn't able to get out. It eventually sold for $20, and after fees I made $13.98. Then I sold this new at tag Indeva. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the brand, tank top. The brand used to be called Indegna, I think. That's what I found when I Googled it. So I listed it under the old brand because the new one didn't have many comps. So I don't know if people recognize it more from the old brand or if they're more familiar with the new name. I haven't heard of either, but comps weren't too bad. I got this in my new bulk boxes that I haven't shared with you guys yet. It was new at tag, but it was just a tank top. It ended up selling for $28, and after fees I made $20.38. Then I sold this vintage Mickey Mouse Safari short sleeve. I got this at Plato's Closet when I went for the first time either last year or much earlier this year. I just kind of like the design. I did a Google Lens search. I knew it was vintage, but some people had this listed for like over $100. Mine was not in great shape. I probably wouldn't have picked it up if I could go back and change it, but I think I only spent like $10 on it. It finally ended up selling on Poshmark on an offer of $50, and after fees I made $40. And then the last thing I sold on Tuesday was this Abercrombie & Fitch pair of straight leg curve love jeans. I believe these were in a 4 short. I got these at Savers. I think they were $8, but I did have a coupon from donating just like bulk box stuff I wasn't gonna sell, or, you know, old inventory. So I think I only end up spending like $6-ish on these. And they're curve love jeans and they're newer styles, kind of like regardless of size for the most part. I like to pick up because even if I don't get like the most for them, they're usually a quick sale. And these ended up selling for $37, and after fees I made $29.60. Granted, I wouldn't pay up like a bunch for them, definitely not more than $10, but I'm glad they were less than $10 and I had that coupon. Then on Wednesday the 16th, I had 2 sales. I sold this Eloquy tweed blazer. It was in a size 20. I received this in my newer bulk boxes. And yeah, I love selling Eloquy. I don't find it very often. I usually will pick it up if I see it at the bins. It's like a plus size, fast fashion online brand who, I guess their stuff isn't like super cheap to begin with. So it does hold its value, and of course the bigger the size the better. This was a size 20 in a really cute style. It ended up selling for $45 on Mercari, and after fees I made $38.48. And then the only other thing I sold on Wednesday was this pair of Naked Zebra tweed shorts. Naked Zebra isn't a great brand, and I didn't really know that when I picked it up. I got these at a Goodwill maybe earlier in the year. My Goodwills usually price their skirts and shorts at the cheapest prices, and I just really like the style, and I thought they would sell based on style, but they did take a while to sell. They were probably like $6, I want to say, that I spent on them. They ended up selling for $16, and after fees I made $12.80. Then Thursday the 17th, I had 5 sales. I sold this Nike Athletic Skort. I got this very recently at the bins. I was able to go on Monday, which was great. I had a much better trip than the last time I went. Still not the best ever, but I was happy to find stuff that I was excited about. This skirt being one of them, you know. I would pick up pretty much any athletic skort still, especially at the bins, to resell. This was a really simple Nike one. Even if it was Adidas, I know I just said I wouldn't usually pick up Adidas, but if it was a cute skort, I definitely would. They're still pretty trendy. This sold really quickly for $24 on Deopop, and after fees I made $20.18. Then I sold this new tag J. Crew Factory Lemon Skirt. This sold on Mercari. This came from the bulk boxes that I already shared with you guys, I think. I got a lot of new tag and linen pieces in those boxes, and those have really helped me make my money back. This, even like the J. Crew Factory stuff, I've actually been getting a decent return on, which I'm very happy about. I actually saw a skirt the same style as this skirt at the bins on Monday, but I'm like, I still have that other one and it hasn't sold yet and it's new with tags, so I won't pick up this one. And then of course that one did end up selling on Mercari for $26, and after fees I made $22. So if I already sold it, I probably would have picked up the one I just saw at the bins, but that's okay. Then I sold these Spanx The Perfect Pants, and this actually went to one of my viewers. So hi, if you're watching. I won't share any of your information, but I love that some of you guys can find stuff in my closet that you're really excited about, but by no means do you need to buy anything from me. But it's just so much more special when one of you guys finds something that you like, because I already love being able to like shop for people in a sense, and knowing that it's going to somebody who's excited to have it and them being a viewer of mine really means a lot. This was the second time I found this style of Spanx recently. I've been getting really lucky finding a lot of Spanx items. These were in a size large. These were not new with tags. The ones I found before were new with tags and sold much quicker. These I have sat on for a little while. And these, where did I get these? I got these at Savers. Probably spent about $10, maybe a little less on them. They ended up selling for $56, and then after fees I made $42.78. Then I sold this ModCloth Dinosaur Fair Isle sweater. I thought this was really cute. I love ModCloth's like unique kind of like novelty print items. It's kind of like what they're known for. I've sold many of their like dresses with like all over print, but their Fair Isle sweaters like this are also super trendy. I found 2 of these a while ago now at Goodwill. I found a unicorn one that sold really quickly. This one has been taking a little while to sell, and I was surprised because I actually thought this one would do better than that one, just because, I don't know, I thought the dinosaurs were cute. And it had like little micro like heart print on the sweater, but this one did finally end up selling. It sold on an offer on eBay. Someone offered me $55, and after fees I made $47.23, and I've probably spent about $10 on that sweater as well. And then the last thing I sold on Thursday was this Zara tailored blazer. This was in a size extra small, and this I actually also got this week at the bins. I was actually surprised to see it was still there, just because it was in good shape and it was like a newer, more substantial Zara piece. And yeah, I don't know if a lot of people were just shopping for themselves, but I was excited to pick this up. I didn't think comps were going to be that high, but I was pleasantly surprised. This sold very quickly for $60. And then after fees, I made $45.98. And on that whole trip that I did this week to the bins, I only spent $40. So that covered it and made me some money back. And I already sold that Nike Skort, so that was great to have such a quick return. And then Friday, I think this is the day I had the most sales. I had 7 sales, but they were lower end sales, so I didn't make too much money off of everything. But I am glad to see some of these things I've had for a while sell, even if it's not for too much. I ended up selling this Suslo, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Couture Floral Polo. This I must have gotten in some men's bulk box forever ago. And it finally sold. It sold for $12, and after fees I made $9.05. Then I sold this Disneyland Spirit jersey, and usually I get much more for these, but this one was not in great shape. The letters had a lot of cracking on them. I did get this at the bins, but in the future, if it has a lot of wear, I probably won't pick it up unless I want to like DIY it or something, which I think this would be good for someone. I've seen on TikTok a lot of people like paint the letters as different like Disney characters. But yeah, otherwise it wasn't in great shape. It did sell for $10. Someone offered me and I decided to accept, and after fees I made $7.05. Then I sold this Old Navy high-rise pair of shorts. I've had these for a while too, I think. I must have gotten these at the bins, I want to say, or maybe in some bulk box, but they sold for $18, and after fees I made $14.40. Then I sold this Brandy Melville olive green hoodie. Again, I got this at the bins. I pick up a lot of Brandy Melville. Pretty much anytime I see Brandy Melville or John Gull at the bins, I will pick it up. It's still like pretty trendy. It doesn't get me like too much, but it seems to still be pretty popular. They're usually like one size items, and that one size is usually like a size small. So I just usually mark it as a size small and take measurements. This ended up selling for $16, and after fees I made $10.78. Then I sold this new tag Forever 21 tweed blazer, a lot like the Eloquii one that I sold that I mentioned before. This one also came from my bulk boxes. I want to say my newer bulk boxes, not 100% sure. But I actually had some good luck with the Forever 21 pieces I received, especially the new tag ones. And this one I just think was a pretty substantial piece and very trendy. It ended up selling for $26 on Mercari, and after fees I made $21.93. Then I sold these vintage denim jean shorts, and they had little like flip-flops embroidered on them, and I thought they were really fun. I wish I had them earlier in the summer, but I wasn't 100% sure that they were going to sell because I listed them so late. I got these in my newer bulk boxes, but luckily they sold on Deopop for what I had them listed at, which was $18, and after fees I made $14.93. And then the last thing I sold on Friday was this new tag J. Crew Jacquard, is that how you pronounce that? Pencil skirt. This came from my bulk boxes also, the ones I already showed you guys. Comps on this skirt actually weren't that high, which I was surprised about, especially new with tags. But I am glad it sold, especially when it seems like more of a holiday piece. It sold for $30 on eBay, and after fees I made $26.16. And as you can probably see now, my like feedback score or whatever on eBay is 100% now, when it was like 92% last week when I showed you guys my sales. I know that the negative comment that I had was more than a year old now, so maybe that's why. I don't know. I can't complain, but I just think it's so weird. I don't really understand how their rating system is based. But anyway, moving on. And then on Saturday, just yesterday, I only had 3 sales. I sold this Knox Rose extra large long sleeve blouse. I usually don't pick up Knox Rose. It's like a Target brand, but I heard a lot of good things from Kaylee Elaine. I don't know why I almost forgot her name. She sells a lot of this brand in plus sizes, and I feel like she mostly sells on eBay. So I didn't know how well this would do on other platforms. I didn't list it too high, but I got this at the bins on Monday as well, so it took less than a week to sell, which was great. It ended up selling for $15, and after fees I made $9.98. Then I sold another piece that I got from the bins on Monday. It was this new tag Life is Good long sleeve free range chick is what it said shirt. Life is Good. I usually just pick it up at the bins. I haven't really sold it much before I moved here and found it a lot in Sacramento. Otherwise, I had never really seen it anywhere else before, like for resale to see how it like does. And I heard usually their bigger sizes do better, but this was a size medium, and I think it sold so fast because it was new with tags. It ended up selling for $14.50 on eBay, and after fees, I made $12.61. And then the last thing I sold yesterday was this Aritzia Wilfred Gabrielle skirt. Again, another Aritzia Wilfred skirt. Wilfred being the brand. This skirt I found at the bins kind of a while ago. I loved it. I love the style. It's definitely more fall, so I think that's why it's sold now. But it's one of those pieces that it's like I've had for a while. I've sent out 20% offers. I've sent out 30% off offers, and no one's bought it. And then I relisted it, and somebody offered me $72, and I accepted so fast. And after fees, I made $57.60. So that's why I really try to relist some of my old items, especially items that I'm like, why hasn't no one bought this yet or offered me like a decent price instead of lowball me? And relisting can help a lot sometimes. But yeah, so those were all my sales for the last week. My gross total for just this last week was $977. After fees of $212.77, I net $764.73. And I am plenty happy with that. You can't see my cat. She's out of frame, but she dropped her toy. It was very sad. But yeah, those were all my sales. Let me know how your guys' sales have been this last week. I really hope things have picked up. I know some of you mentioned that you've had a really slow August. I know I definitely did from what I shared with you guys last time. Luckily this week things got a lot better. Hopefully this next week and a half will go the same. But yeah, let me know how you guys' sourcing and selling has been, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!